Welcome to the October 24th, 2019 Folsom Cordova Unified School District School Board meeting. To begin our meeting, I would like to invite Joshua to come to the podium and lead us in the pledge, please.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well done, young man. That was great. As we begin our meeting, I would like to announce a broadcasting is being made at the direction of the board, and that the broadcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. So thank you. I will also like to call roll. Student board member?
Present.
Mr. Short?
Present.
Mr. Clark?
Present.
Mr. Hoover?
Present.
Mr. Reed?
Present.
Ms. Ranking is present too. The board does not have anything to report out from closed session. So can I get an adoption of the agenda?
Move it. I'll second.
Moved by Mr. Short, second by Mr. Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. I do not believe these cards are for public participation now. They were from the previous meeting. I do not have any cards, so I'm going to assume that there's no one in the public who wishes to address the board. Reports of district organizations. Student Advisory Board.
Yeah, I pretty much just have a short report. So we have not met since the last board meeting, so nothing really to say, except our next meeting is on November 19th at Sutter Middle School. And we'll just be talking more about our project that we're going to try to implement. It's probably going to center around mental health, so we'll see. Thank you.
Well done, thank you. Folsom California School Employees Association. Thanks for sticking around.
Rob Thomas, President, Chapter 528, CSEA. I just, in thinking about the meeting we just had, thought came to mind that it's times like these that really test our commitment to the culture that we have in this organization, that we're building in this organization. And I think the way that meeting went and the way this process went really speaks well to the way we're doing business. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That was very thoughtful. Folsom Cordova Education Association.
Good evening, Angelica Miklos, FCEA President, and I agree with what Rob said. It's been a great process, and it's been wonderful being part of it. The time commitment that Dr. Koligian, Rhonda, and Dawn have shown with our employee group and showing up at our meetings and soliciting our input has been so valuable and really spoke volumes to our members as well. So we appreciate being part of this process and look forward to working together to find the best solutions, and again, just reiterating, keeping that as far away from the classroom and staff as possible. And then on that, we've had a busy week with lots of things going on. 2 great site visits yesterday to Theodore Judah and Blanche Sprents. Going back to Judah was wonderful, and just seeing all the changes there, a lot of progress being made. And a good significant disproportionality meeting yesterday afternoon. I'm enjoying being part of that team and working together again to find solutions and share best practices and do the best for our students. And I think that's about it for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Folsom Cordova Leadership Association.
I have 2 very quick updates. One for Folsom Cordova Leadership Association. And good afternoon. This is Elena Cabrera. I'm Elena Cabrera, president of FCLA, excuse me. And I want to, first on behalf of Folsom Cordova Leadership Association, we want to recognize Daniel Thigpen. And you saw that he's been recognized as the President's Award. And we're just really proud to have him as, part of one of us. And just on behalf of FCLA, we want to congratulate you. Thank you. Next, moving to DLAC, if that's okay. I just want to let you know that coming November 2nd, we have our Parent Summit. The theme for this year is going to be Full Steam Ahead, using the word STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Our focus on Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, is going to be 3 speakers or 3 focus areas. Staying on track with Monica Merrill from Power School will be running our parents through our parent app. And I'm excited to have that partnership. She has identified somebody who's bilingual, Spanish, that will be working with our parents and walking not only through the parent portal, but a couple of other highlights in that presentation. We'll also be having some Science Beyond the Bell with our ACES folks, including Lisa Scarab, which will put our parents at ease through some challenges in STEM, but also to help broaden the did you know what we have in our schools related to STEAM and STEM. So we'll highlight all the cool things that we have going on in elementary, middle, and high school, and obviously Beyond the Bell as well. And then last, we'll be having some VAPA experiences, visual and performing arts, and we're going to do some hands-on and working in collaboration with Mindy and her team on bringing some activities to our parents. So I'm excited about Saturday, and I have some flyers here to share. I'll give those to Kelly, and look forward to seeing you there. You can make it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's my report.
Agenda consent.
Move it.
Moved by Mr. Short.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hoover. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Our discussion action item of the evening. Can't believe how quickly we are moving. Approve the 2020-2021 instructional calendar. Superintendent?
Yes, this calendar is very similar to this year's calendar, but the sooner we can get it approved, the sooner we can, get it out to our staff and our families. It has our teachers coming back on August 10th and 11th as teacher days, students coming back on the 12th, students end on May 27th, and then teachers finish up on the 28th. And it doesn't have the October PD day in this calendar year. So.
Yeah. Are there any questions on the calendar from the board?
I have a question.
Mr. Reed.
I was looking at the calendar, and while as a parent I definitely appreciate the starting midweek on Wednesday, I think it's probably more conducive in allowing kids to ease into the school year rather than doing 5 days in a row. But I am a little concerned at the spread of time between September 7th and November 11th. That's 46 days, school days without a break. And just so you know, the differences, the first 18 days, then you have a break, then 46 days, then 7 days, then 15 days, then 10 days, then 19 days, then 28 days, and then we end up with 38 days. So that is a substantial period of time to expect kids to, especially I suspect younger kids, to stay focused without a break. And I almost wonder, we're always worried about our attendance and, families taking Disneyland trips. If we have such a wide swath of time, will we potentially be harming ourselves on the attendance side of things?
And I also had a question about that long stretch too. And I do like the Wednesday start day. I think it's a good start day for our staff too, because most of them will come in on Monday, Tuesday. So I'm not in favor necessarily pushing that back to Tuesday and splitting up those days. But I'm wondering if we want to talk about the day after Easter. I mean, it's become a tradition that we have that Monday after Easter to allow for travel. But is it better used to break up October? So I wanted to hear thoughts on that to tie in with October. So I don't know. There's only so many places we can take days to make a change.
Yeah. We talked about that, and I think because it's such a culture in our community to take that day after. Mr. Ogden, do you have anything to add from your feedback?
We talked to all the groups about this, and really unilaterally everybody said they want the day after the travel day after spring break. Especially if you, as Dave pointed out, there's a long time after spring break till the end of the year too. So It was two big chunks of time in the calendar. We recognize that.
Yeah, and I don't see any other wiggle room unless we change the start day. And I personally, I don't want to change it from Wednesday. I don't even know what the holiday is in October anymore, frankly. So
Well, it doesn't have to be a holiday. It just I mean, you could pick any day. It doesn't really matter. And just call it a day off. I don't know. I'm just very concerned about that breadth of time without a break for the students. I mean, what hypothetically, if you did start on a Tuesday, does that mean the teachers have to be back in the classrooms on Friday?
Friday.
I mean, we keep on talking about what's best for the students. Is this what's best for the students to go 46 days without a break?
Personally, I think it's difficult because you only have so many days where you can have a day off, like was said. But the day after Easter, for those who celebrate Easter, they're with their family or whatnot, or they're traveling. And then that night, students hypothetically have to go to bed early. So they're not spending that time with their family. But then that long stretch of 46 days, kids do look forward to that break and that time. Like, okay, I just have to push through 2 more weeks and then there's going to be another day off. So
I'm hesitant to change the Wednesday based on the fact that staff did solicit the feedback of our employee groups, and that was what they preferred. But I also agree it is a long stretch, and I don't know where we could any other ways to rectify that. Mr. Short.
And we've edited this out through several times with everybody, and so this one's probably the one that we've honed in so many times. I know we did it last time, but from hearing from what the family, I think we need to keep it like it is.
I believe we've even discussed having spring break after Easter instead of before Easter, and that wasn't well received either. So, I mean, I agree it is a long stretch, but I think, and also we would probably be hurting ourselves if we took that Monday after April away with attendance more than we would be hurting by having that long stretch in October.
Yeah.
And you're right, we lose attendance, and that's what we've learned, yeah. And that goes against our budget for our ADA, right?
Yeah. And it has only been a few years that we've been able to fill in that October day. Do we have any comments, any further comments, questions from the board? Anyone from the public wish to speak on this?
Sorry, I'm late to the party on this one. So, Jeanette Sansenbach, Senator Gallardo. So, I'm real curious. I know we had this a few years ago with the Veterans Day in the smack middle of the week. Do we have records on ADA before and after Veterans Day when it was like in the middle of the week? Do we have statistics on kids taking time off before or after? Because I know that's the day we have to go ahead and take off.
Right.
So that's by law. But if I remember correctly, I had a ton of students either before or after that went ahead and were adios, or they would take an early spring break, and I would have a ton of IEPs. Or not IEPs, yeah, no, not IEPs. Independent studies. So, I know this may sound really weird, but if you extended May past the 31st and gave us some time off before or after, I don't know. But I'm just saying, so I just know if anybody had any statistics and whether that was even considered when it was put in the middle of the week. If your budget principles are to put people in the classroom.
And speaking to ending by the 28th, has that been a factor due to summer school and limited time to get that in, and and graduations? Go ahead.
Well, oh, you want
wasn't Columbus Day a holiday?
This year,
but will it
It wasn't for staff.
No, it wasn't for staff, but just
Student
Students had it on
were.
because it was a professional
Professional Development Day. Okay, I don't.
We don't have
That's
one of
what I
those
said.
planned
Planned.
for next year.
So okay, I was just thinking that may.
Because that's October 12th.
That is.
Is there, and then
Where
is
are you looking?
that if we looked at a professional development day, we're also looking at the cost associated with that
Right.
day, correct?
Right.
Going back to the meeting a few hours ago.
That's low hanging fruit.
For all practical purposes, it's one of the more clear calendars. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
see us having
Yeah,
a
this
lot of
one's-
leeway. We've always taken the whole week
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I will move it for adoption.
second
I'll second.
moved by Mr. Short, second by Mr. Clark.
I actually had an
Oh.
additional question.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
that doesn't have to do with the stretch. Apologies.
Oh, sorry.
I was just curious because I hadn't followed up on this and hadn't heard. Maybe it was answered a few weeks ago, but last year we took some days for smoke. Was that ever reimbursed to the district?
Yeah.
That was.
Yes, we received the waiver.
We did.
They approved it.
Okay,
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so I was just gonna bring that up. That's really great news. I should have asked it a lot earlier, but yeah, I had mentioned in the past potentially building in a couple snow/smoke days, potentially, just because they do this in different parts of the country for
Blackout days.
blackout days, for example, things like that. Just given the kind of
We're smud. Though.
uncertainty of power outages, fires, things like that. I don't suggest them for this year, but I think we should just keep that in mind this year to see if any of that comes up again 2 years in a row, because I know that was definitely a decision that had to be made last year, and we didn't know if we were going to get the money back for that. So I just want to, if this becomes a reoccurring thing every school year, we may want to start looking at that as an option.
Mr. Reed.
Yeah, just one last question. I know the culture of the district has been to give the full Thanksgiving week off. I grew up in a district that we always went to school Monday and Tuesday on Thanksgiving week, and granted that was a million years ago, but although I just looked up that school district and they still go to school on Monday and Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I mean, we're giving the students a week off in the end of November, and then less than the next month they have 2 weeks off. I mean, that's a significant amount of time off in a very short period of time. I mean, why couldn't we ever consider moving our school on Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week and give those 2 days on like the 12th and 13th of October, and give a nice long weekend in October to break up the span of time between September and November?
And I went to school and only had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off too. Right. So, but is that something that perhaps as we move forward that staff could explore with our bargaining units in the community to see if there is any interest in creating more flexibility by possibly looking at that week? Or
I would definitely want to get their input and their feedback before.
Yeah. I mean, but your point is correct that there's probably districts around here that go to school the first 2 or 3 days. So, just because we've always done something doesn't mean we have to continue, but it needs a lot of vetting in the,
I'd definitely be interested in looking at that as well. I think that stretch is pretty long, and I don't think that my only concern with November would be if we only go to school 2 days. Would our ADA be pretty significantly hit with a lot of kids, not going to school on those days anyway? That would be my only concern with it.
And they're already used to it.
Yeah, but I would, right, exactly. So but it'd be interesting to look at it because.
Or next time.
And that's one of the things that you pointed out. And in the past, it's been that we didn't like to create weeks that weren't full. Right. That every time you shorten a week, it interrupts the flow of the.
Historically, we found out we had low ADAs on those type of weeks, so we can explore it again. But I think right now, we should move this forward.
And we'll just expect to hear an update eventually on
for
that.
next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was moved by Mr. Short, second by Mr. Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
No.
So we had 2 opposed. Just for the record, Mr. Hoover and Mr. Reed were no, and then Mr. Clark, Mr. Short, and myself were yes. And Student Advisory Board?
Aye, yes.
Okay. Well, reports to the board. Oh, before we go on to that, I want to point out, the information items that are attached, the California School Dashboard Local Indicator Update, and the 2019-2020 beautifully adopted budget book for your reading pleasure. And the budget book provides a lot of information for our families and staff to review. So thank you. Reports to the board. Superintendent?
Yeah, a couple of updates. Today we had the Explore Rancho Cordova event at our adult school in partnership with Folsom Cordova Community Partnership, and I just want to thank the staff and the partners that provide those resources for our community, because what it's doing is providing not only resources but pipelines for jobs either into our district or into the community, which is a good thing. I also want to commend Kim Harrison and the ETIS staff and Cordova High staff and our students at Cordova High for hosting a huge statewide conference for computer using educators that was held in Cordova High this last weekend. It was a 2-day conference, well attended, and so many folks that were there from other school districts were just in awe of our Cordova High campus and the hospitality of our staff from Cordova High, custodians, students, culinary students, and everything was pretty much turnkey. So well done. There were about 1,000 educators there throughout the state. So great job. And I do also want to say once again, now that Scarlett is here too, thank you for the groups that have allowed us to come and work with you and get your feedback on the budget and our budget visioning and being part of the solution. I want to thank SAB again too. We shared input from your group in our budget study session, but thank you, Scarlett, for giving us that time as well. And then I had an opportunity to see the drama production at Cordova High, Puffs. If you missed it, you'll have to catch their next one, but it was a great spoof on the Harry Potter series, all 7 of them. And it was just well done, and we know they're both Folsom High and Vista Del Lago have productions coming up too. So if you haven't been to one of their drama productions, try to get one on your calendar. They're worth seeing. Thank you.
Student Advisory Board, do you have anything else to add this evening?
Yeah, so the meeting we had before the public open thing, I was watching it at home with the live stream just to see how it was working. And I watched the first live stream in August, a couple months ago. The quality has improved a lot. It's much more audible, and the PowerPoint and everything was easy to see and hear and everything. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you.
Good job, Kim.
Any board members ready to report? Mr. Short?
I just want to thank staff again for the great meeting we had earlier. As you were talking about, it reflects the meeting and its exemplary process. So I think we're very fortunate to have that type of camaraderie working together towards solutions that are hopefully keep it away from the kids in the classroom and the staff, as you said. So I think we're all on the same page with that, but hopefully we can find little nuggets here and there to, you have money in your sock, I know you do somewhere, but we've been in a lot worse, but I just don't, it's just light years from where we went and back in the past. So I just want to thank everybody for that. And similarly to, the process that we went through, the boundary visioning, very same vetting process that, the public and commentary. I just can't say anything more, Daniel. I don't know how you do it, but you must have you probably can't talk at the end of the meetings because you're talking all the time, but and it's really interesting process to see how people have all the questions, and students are there too, and they have the best questions. So I want to thank everybody for that, and we have a really great district, and we're blessed for what we have here. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reed.
Thank you. I just have one thing that I found interesting that I wanted to share with the board. I subscribe to an email newsletter called CyberWise. I think perhaps you folks have heard of that before. But this isn't an email I got from them this month, and I just want to read one of the paragraphs. It says, "It's National Bullying Prevention Month. Did you know that in-school bullying rates increased by 35% from 2016 to 2019? In 2019, over half, 52.3% of students said they had been bullied at school in the past 30 days. As far as cyberbullying goes, it has increased slightly, 17.4% in 2019 compared to 16.5% in 2016. And the email goes on from there. And it got me thinking. I mean, we have spent so much effort over the last 5 years on bullying prevention. Why the heck are these numbers still going up? Now, I guess one of the arguments could be there's greater awareness and maybe more willingness of students to come forth and say, I was bullied. Or maybe we've brought in the definition of bullying. I mean, I hear kids all the time saying now, stop bullying me. And I've seen what had transpired, and it wasn't bullying. So we may have dumbed down the definition of bullying. That could also be an answer. But the bottom line is these are troubling statistics that CyberWise is presenting here. And it almost goes to suggest, if one of those two explanations was not the answer, that what we're doing is not working. And I guess I know we've had some presentations on this past, but I kind of would be curious to at some point get the insight of staff on why these statistics might be looking like that. And that's all I want to have to share. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Clark?
Yeah. Real quick, congratulations to Folsom High and the dedication of their new CTE building that's coming up on the 28th. Unfortunately, I will not be there. I would love to be, but I will be on a long-deserved vacation. But I will be there in spirit. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Hoover?
Well, I had the opportunity to join our special education meeting with Dawn and Angelica and our teachers, and I just want to say, thank you. It was great. I didn't participate much in terms of bringing anything to the table, but I listened a lot, and it's just amazing to see, especially as a parent of a special needs child, how much goes in behind the scenes to the care and the thoughtfulness that goes into taking care of our kids in our special education programs. So thank you for that. Thank you to Sarah and all the staff for the fantastic budget process this year. I think all the different folks that have said it was such a success is I think it says a lot about how good it was, and especially compared to last year, seeing the 2 different years. I think this process was fantastic, and I just want to wish everyone goodbye to our short board meetings.
Yeah. Yes. Don't get used to it.
We'll see you next month.
Thank you. To add Mr. Reed's comments, so about the bullying statistics, will we be able to tell through our Healthy Kids reports if we're seeing progress through our efforts, or do we have measurements that the board can get to see if we are making progress, either aligned with that or getting better, just so that we know?
Yes, and we can bring a report back to the board.
You. And I also want to give a big shout out to Daniel. We are so lucky to have him in our district, and for so many reasons. So congratulations. I want to thank Monica Merrill for taking the challenge that was presented to her last meeting and stepping up and helping with our Monica Merrill and Power School, helping with our Parent Summit. One of the things that you mentioned at the Parent Summit is for the parents about a did you know about some of the programs that the school has. I think there's a lot of value in that if we could get that message out in Rancho Cordova all through the year and enlighten those families about what we have available in that community. And I think that's something that would probably be well received by the leadership of that city as well. Thank you to everyone who pulled together those single plans for student achievement that we just approved, which is another great resource of information. And fiscal services for the budget book. Well done, as always. I am, and I think a couple other people in this room are walking the runway on November, is it the 2nd or 3rd? I am terrified of this. I really am. Very terrified. I'm going to put my big girl pants on and do this, but I believe superintendent will be there. Anybody else in this room going to be there? Okay. All right, so come out and watch us strut our stuff, okay? And with that, I'm going to say that this might be close because you have to remember we started a little late this evening. So, Roger Benton, this one's for you. I think.